Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to recap today's entire session, what happened, and what I'm currently watching, and what I expect over the next couple of days and in tomorrow. So first of all, what an update we had today. Huge update in the NASDAQ and the S&P. The NASDAQ surging 3.5% today, while the S&P went up another 130 points. The S&P has now rallied about over 6% in 4 trading days. So crazy move there. The NASDAQ as well has rallied about 10% in the span of that same 4 days. 661 on the Qs at the bottom, all the way up to 725, 9.6% off the lows. So insane move. That actually even outpaces what we saw in the bottom back in March. Even that wasn't as vicious as what we saw the last 4 days. And even a more interesting thing is the volatility has been way lower. The VIX actually has been up under 20 this whole time, while the VIX had gone up to almost 30 in that March time. So crazy. But I'm going to start talking about FSLR, which was one of our highest conviction plays over the last few days. We're loading up over here between 215 down to 195, and now the move has started. After earnings, I mean, this thing has gone up from that early 200 zone all the way up to $250 today, when there was news that hit today that the Trump administration is going to put tariffs or limit imports of some materials that are used for solar panels. And First Solar is fully domestic, so they have an exemption from that. They will not be affected. So another 5% up today, and our position is now up around 20% from the buys, with my average price being around 204, 205 in some accounts, and up to 210 in other accounts. So solid gains, almost 20, pretty much 20% there on that trade. Even Enphase has been moved really well on that headline. Solid move. Now it's got some supply it's going to test probably here, but overall very promising. Very orderly pullback on the weekly chart. That's why we like it, and positive headlines coming again. Just needs to reclaim these weekly moving averages, but solid chart nonetheless. Yields had a decent sized move down today. I mean, the 10-year dropped 11 basis points or so far this week. So solid sign. Also helps put upward pressure on the market. With that, oil continues to slide down with the headlines of Hormuz reopening and the war, whatever drama happens every day with that. But oil has pulled back a solid amount off the highs. Tesla, our oversold bounce play, has worked really well off that low around 300, 10% bounce there. TSLO has worked really well during that time frame. And crypto has actually been very dead, surprisingly. I mean, Bitcoin is still at the same levels that it was actually going back to February, the same spot. So not really much of a move there. Pretty dead, honestly, crypto. Not really much has happened in that market. So what we're going to be watching for here is this the bottom? Is it carving out a low before it wants to go up towards the 80,000s? Or is it just setting up in a bear flag for the next leg lower? Because as of now, we don't really have any real idea. I don't really have a real idea. I mean, if I look at the 4-year cycle, I tend to think that, okay, it's carving out a bottom now until the end of the year. But it's made no progress, the chart. I mean, and on a monthly or longer term time frame, it's right at that huge support from the pre-election run in 2024, and along with the all-time highs in 2021. So it has strong support here, but it just needs to continue to base here and needs to eventually make a move up. Crypto. The Kospi has had a solid bounce off the lows again. Still hasn't reclaimed the 21 EMA, but it's more than 20% off its lows, and semis are looking better than they were before. Today was probably a decent size follow through day in SOXX. It reclaimed this key resistance level that was previously resistance, then turned to support and was acting as resistance. Now reclaimed the 21 and the 50 EMAs. So better action there. But after hours, we saw that AMD actually fell on the report. This chart is probably going to look a lot worse tomorrow if it opens up down here. The weekly chart will probably be like an upper wick as of now on this bar, so it'll look worse, but nothing really changes as long as it's in the range. So I personally got no real interest in semiconductors myself, so not really paying too much attention there to semis. But yeah, a big bounce across the board in semis. Say full participation today with Micron 7%, AMD 7 before the after hours, Qualcomm 7, ARM 17%, Intel 10, even Avgo 6%, Nvidia like 5% throughout the entire session, including after hours. So yeah, the whole semiconductor complex with a pretty sizable move. Memory as well. SanDisk is now up like 40% off the lows. The bottom at 1,000, now over 1,400 a share. Microsoft continues. I made an interesting move today. I opened a short on Microsoft using MSFU, short selling MSFU. I think it ran a little bit too much too fast, and I think it's probably going to pull back into this gap here for the 470, high 460s, and retest this high. Big level here from the 2024 highs, big level here from the high back in the end of May, beginning of June. So I think that's a level that needs to be retested. It needs to pull back probably to the moving averages or let it catch up. So I'll probably risk risk will be a daily close above today's high, and yeah, does that, probably will cut it. If not, target this other level. My price around is like 489, 490 is where I'm short at. So decent risk to reward, thinking that's gonna pull back. A big thing I wanted to do today was actually hedge my positions, because my main long positions had gone up a lot over the last 4 days. I had a huge move in my portfolio. Wanted to hedge, so have taken an SQQQ position just to be careful. That is not SQQQ, but SQQQ to be careful. I mean, would rather be protected now than not. My only concern is that if this is a complete lockout rally, like what we saw back in March, is it's going to rally nonstop. If we're going straight to 800 SPY and 800 QQQ in a straight line, then I'm obviously wrong. I need to get out of my hedges pretty fast. But my longs will do the hard work there, so will not lose from it. Just the hedges will not work out. But this has been vicious, yeah, the last 4 days. This move is, and it's accelerating too. I mean, this is the biggest update of the entire move now, is for the Nasdaq, 3.4%, bigger than the first day that we saw on Thursday. So very interesting spot we're in, and sentiment has completely done a full 180 over the last few days. On Wednesday after FOMC, the general consensus was that we're going into a deeper correction. We are probably going to go retest these highs back in February, January, end of last year. The chart's broken. This is like when the rollover cascade, like crash risk kind of happens, is now. At least that's the 200. But just like that, things flipped, and people are now talking about it's going to be a lockout rally into midterms, and their administration's going to keep the market propped up into midterms to win the election and stuff. So a full 180 right there in sentiment. That kind of shows how human psychology and how the market psychology really works, because nothing changes sentiment faster than price. And when price makes a dramatic move like that, people flip on a dime. The fear turns into greed, just like that. So it's an interesting place that we're in right now. But obviously, I'm thinking it's smart to be cautious here. Some resistance. Better be safe than sorry right here on at least the Nasdaq. Could expect it to retrace, but not shorting, just hedging. And technically, yes, I'm shorting, but it is to hedge against the longs that I'm holding. But what I was going to add here, talk about, was Oracle. There's another one that's like a great example of market psychology. I remember seeing it go down here, especially when it lost this 135 zone, because that was a spot where I initially thought it would bounce, and most people thought that's where the bounce spot was, and it didn't really bounce there. Went lower. The narrative kept on accelerating. People kept thinking, oh, bankruptcy risk, the CDS is blowing up, it's done, it's never going to go up again, it's probably going to 80, 90 bucks, it's headed lower here, probably to the 2021 highs, around 90 to 100. So it very quickly turned from, oh, it's a great opportunity all the way up here to buy the dip, to it's never going to go up again. It's going to go bankrupt. It's going to blow up. It turned into. So, and then now the narrative flips again where people don't really have that same. Now it's up 20% and you don't hear that same stuff anymore. After it's gone up 28% in the straight line, you don't hear the same thing anymore. So it's kind of a thing about how markets work. I mean, similar thing with the AI trade. I mean, it looked like the AI trade, it's over. The semis are just about to break down here. The AI bubble was popping, and now we get a rally, and now everything's back to normal. It's lockout till midterm. So that's kind of a crash course of how market psychology works. People just get at the extremes. You see insane stuff at the extremes, and it's usually when you want to make a pivot is when you think a stock's never going to go up again, probably when it's time to start buying. And when you think something is, or you or the general consensus public thinks that it's never going to go down again, is probably when you want to get out of it or short it. So it's kind of how it works now. Some other Mag 7, not really any interest in any of the Mag 7s. Today, SpaceX also reported. SpaceX down 8% after hours after going up 10% during the session. Then on top of that, I think SanDisk is going to report tomorrow. So another important earnings to see what's going on with the memory trade. But that's about it. What I have my eye on, what I've been seeing. I mean, another possible Lunar, the one we talked about last week, solid bounce, up 13% so far this week. Space theme moving well. Then there was another name I wanted just to take a look at. Oh, MSTR. MSTR is an interesting one. So if crypto can catch a bottom, this thing has been consolidating for a few days now. This has been more than a month just in a sideways consolidation, a pretty tight range, just between 90 and 100. So probably going to see a pretty big velocity move when it breaks this either direction. I mean, usually I tend to lean to upside for consolidations, but who knows here. If it gets above 100, probably going to make a move up to very fast to the 130s maybe. If it breaks down, new lows a lot more than likely come. But yeah, one to keep an eye on too. And then Coinbase was another crypto chart that is just continues to get bid up right at this support here around 150. Just keeps on getting bid up. And how about drawings here? But interesting spot for this chart. I mean, very big zone. I mean, it continues to hold. If it breaks this, probably done for a little bit, down to 120. But there's a good chance it holds, and also this is carving out a bottom. So very interesting scenario. Another one that I that's been going up to SoFi. I added this when it went down on the earnings. I added more shares, and now it's up 15% so far this week. So solid bounce back on SoFi. But that kind of covers it all for what I'm currently looking at. Definitely trying to go about with caution right now. Don't want to push the gas too hard after seeing such a big move in the last few days, seeing big gain in the portfolio. Want to calm down, protect the money that's come, and I would like to be more safe than sorry. But yeah, the main watch is going to see the next 3 days to see how far this rally can continue, or it's going to stall and probably consolidate or pull back more, or if we're going to get another leg lower. Who knows right now? But that's currently what my thoughts are. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to subscribe.